HubcityFibers podcast. My name is Lillian. I'm coming to you from New Brunswick, New Jersey area. Actually, I'm coming from the Piscataway area, which is right next to New Brunswick. I'm the independent dyer behind HubcityFibers, and this is a podcast about my oh-so-crafty life. Mostly about knitting and a little bit of spinning here and there, and dyeing yarn and, what I'm doing in my crafty life and what yarn shops I'm visiting. And thank you so much for coming and spending a little bit of time with me and knitting or crocheting, whatever your craft is, and listening to, my podcast. You could follow me on Instagram at HubcityFibers.com. I'm most active on that social media platform. And yeah, let's dive in. I will talk a little bit more about my works in progress. But before I do that, let's talk about my first works in progress. So I talked to you guys a little bit more about this project by Isolde de Lative. It is the Threadmere sweater, and I'm knitting it out of Jamieson & Smith 2-ply yarn, 100% Shetland, and it is in the, oh, that doesn't work. It is in the, it's like a natural color, and I pretty much, I finished the yoke, but I have a problem, guys. I totally am off by a couple of stitches, and it's really sad because the pattern came out perfect. I can't find any problems with it, with the pattern, but I'm off by like 30 stitches, and that's never happened to me before. So I'm a little torn as to what to do, so I put it on hold for now. I haven't been knitting on it. And here it is, so you guys can see it close up. And I'm using my Haya sharps to knit on this. And I have a little Gouda cheese stitch marker there to mark the beginning of my round. So if you guys have any recommendations as to what I should do if I'm off, I would really appreciate if you guys could just jot that down on the comments, because I got so frustrated that I just was like, I need to cast on a new sweater. So that's living in my You Sew and Sew project bag, and I love this bag so much. It's a large bag, so it's perfect for sweaters. My second project that I casted, so like I said, I casted on a new project, a new sweater project, and this bag I got at Chelsea Yarns at their 5-year anniversary that I went to and spent some time with Jacqueline from the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, as well as Julie from the Sweet Sparrow Yarns podcast as well. She's also an indie dyer. She was there hosting a trunk show at the 5-year anniversary, and I really love Chelsea Yarns. I think it's such a great yarn shop. It's in Red Bank, New Jersey, which is not too far away from me, and it's definitely my favorite yarn shop. One of my favorite yarn shops. It's such a beautiful yarn shop. You walk in, it smells amazing because Christina, the yarn shop owner, always has like a bunch of candles going, and it just smells so good in there. Her aesthetic really shines through in her store. It's just such a beautiful space, and I feel great going there and just knitting on whatever I have on the needles and just hanging out and talking with everybody that is a local that goes there every day, and it's really refreshing to be around Christina and her husband, Red Bank Mike. If you guys watch her podcast, I highly recommend it. She's the Chelsea Pearls. They're really funny. And, she has a lot that she's doing. She's also a yarn dyer. She dyes a luxe base, a luxury, she has a luxury yarn line in which she herself dyes. And she has a yarn store. And, her husband, Red Bank Mike, does these huge kahunas, which if you guys haven't seen those, he's up on Instagram. He is amazing. He's always selling to kahunas all over the world. It's like really crazy and inspiring that he's doing that. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really great time to be in that yarn store. So I couldn't miss their 5-year anniversary. And I decided that when I was going, I said, you know what, I'm not gonna look at price when I shop today. Like, I'm going to go and I'm gonna get everything that my little heart desires. And that's exactly what I did. And one of those purchases that I made was this beautiful project bag. There's a place in my heart for project bags. Not only do I use them to store my projects, but I also use them to as a purse. Like, any project I'm pretty much knitting, I'll just throw my wallet, keys, cell phone, glasses, the essentials, and call it a handbag. And this is a Alice in Wonderland inspired project bag, and it has this really beautiful little leather handle, and they're all handmade, and it's by Toad Hollow, and I just love it. I never had a bucket bag, but I'm really loving the bucket bag concept. It's just so much easier to store my stuff. And in living inside of this bag is my Zweg sweater that I casted on because I was so fed up with the Threat Mirror mistake that I decided that I must cast on the Zweg. And guys, if you guys are thinking about casting this sweater on, I can't recommend it more. It is such a well-written pattern. And it's a pattern by Boyland Knits. And a lot of her patterns are actually going around Ravelry lately. And honestly, there's a reason why. And it's because her patterns are very well written. If you have ever casted on a project with color work, if you've ever casted on a project with lace, and you've never knit a sweater before, but have knit in the round like a hat, or this is a really great sweater to cast on because it is very, very well written. I'm on the lace portion of it, and it's really flying off the needles. I'm really actually surprised because the Threat Mirror, I think, is my first sweater that I've casted on that is fingering weight, and so this would be my second, obviously. And you guys, this is so funny. I literally recorded this exact same episode. This is the second time I'm recording an episode, FYI. And the reason why I'm re-recording is because I had a bun in the original recording of this, and it was completely lopsided, and it drove me crazy. So I said, let me just re-record. Anyways, this is my Zweg, and I love it. It is so great. And another reason why I love it so much is also because I am knitting it in my hand-dyed yarn. So this is the color work section, and this is the lace section. And I am using my Grains of Paradise colorway and another colorway called Orgasm. And this is my Orgasm colorway. It's this pink. The lighting isn't so great, but it's kind of like a pink yellow, a perfect colorway for April. And this was a part of my creative single series, and this is the one that I really just fell in love with this color. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. I really gravitated a lot towards this, and this is in my 100% superwash merino fingering single ply yarn. And I've never knit with single ply yarn, but I'm really enjoying it so far thus, and it really does knit up really nicely. So I'm excited to see how this turns out in the Zweg. And these stitch markers I also bought at Chelsea Yarns on their 5-year anniversary party. And that's what I'm using. It comes with 60. They're really useful. And I needed them. So I'm glad I got them. The second colorway that I'm also using to knit the body of my Zweig is my Grains of Paradise colorway. And it's just a regular gray tonal, but it also has a little tint of blue. And it reminds me a lot of Grains of Paradise, which is a spice that people usually use to substitute for black pepper. And I have some Grains of Paradise, and I thought, you know what, why not tribute the colorway after that spice, being that it kind of looks like black pepper, which is what usually people substitute. Black pepper is, Grains of Paradise is used in place of black pepper. It's a little bit sweeter. Yeah. So, Grains of Paradise and Orgasm in my Zweig. And that is living in my Toad's Hollow project bag that I again got at Chelsea Yarns. Oh. So, Chelsea Yarns had a bunch of indie dyers there, and Sweet Sparrow Yarns was having a trunk show on their fifth year anniversary, and so I had to go and support Julie from Sweet Sparrow Yarns, and so I decided to purchase a skein of her yarn that she dyed specifically for the 5-year anniversary of Chelsea Yarns, and that colorway is called Birthday Girl. This is terrible lighting, so I apologize. But it is a very beautiful neutral pink with bits and pieces of violet, turquoise, little bits of orange and yellow. And I thought, I need to cast on a sock. And this is in a merino nylon cashmere fingering weight yarn. And so I did do that exactly. I cast it on a sock. And my mom doesn't watch this podcast, so I think I can safely say that these are going to be socks that I knit for my mother. And so I decided to just do a plain vanilla sock. And they're turning out so beautifully. I love this base so much. And I decided to also put a little bit of luxury in the socks and add 100% cashmere for the heel. So I'm really excited that I did that. And for the heel, I'm using this 70% cashmere, 15% merino, and 15% nylon. That might not be right, but this is merino. This is cashmere. And I'm tying that together with this little bit of cashmere, 100% recycled cashmere that a friend had gifted to me. Now, what she did to get this was she went to a thrift shop, found herself in the sweater aisle, found a 100% cashmere sweater in this color, and she recycled it and unwound the sweater. And this is really sweet. This is a really good thing to put into, like accents on your knitting. Like, I'm going to put this on the rim of the cuff of the sock, and it's super soft and luxurious, and yeah, so that is what's going into these socks. And so yeah, I'm really happy with how they're coming out. I'm knitting them and I'm trying them on as I go, because my mom has a bigger feet than I do, and I love to just keep things for myself because I'm selfish like that. But not that I'm selfish, I am the one knitting it. But I am predominantly a selfish knitter, but she wants a pair of socks, so for Mother's Day, I think it's warranted that she gets a pair of socks. And I am using my Higher Sharps double-pointed needles in size 1.5 US and 2.5 millimeters. And they're my go-to sock yarn socks, DPNs. This is my little Notions bag, and it's an old container of where some tea used to be, and I just think it's really cute. I put my little Notions in there, my darning needle, a little crochet hook, and my other go-to sock needles, which are the same size, 1.5, but they're the Knitter's Pride carbons. I think these are Knitter's Pride. I might be wrong, but these are the carbons. That's what they're called, and they're 1.5. And those are really nice too. I usually have 2 socks going at a time, but I'm so busy working on sweaters this year that 2 at a time socks are not. I'll probably cast on another pair of socks once I'm done with the first sock. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm working on. So let's talk a little bit more about trunk shows. I recently had a trunk show this past month in February at the Yarn Addict in Hillsborough, New Jersey, and I just want to thank everyone who came out and supported me and bought some yarn, and yeah, it was a really fun time, and I'm really happy about that. And this month I am having another trunk show, except it will be in New York. It will be at Downtown Yarns, and I will be there on St. Patrick's Day. So if you guys live in New York, or you live in the surrounding area, or you're going to the St. Patrick's Day parade in Manhattan, stop by Downtown Yarns and come and spend some time. Check out my collection of yarns that I will be having. Let me actually go over some of the yarns that I dyed up. I will have some chunky yarn, which is my blueberry honey yarn. And this is just a 100% superwash merino 3-ply bulky yarn, which is really, I have a lot of this base bulky yarn, and I'm thinking about casting on a fade shawl. I'll put the pattern right here so you guys can see what it looks like. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it only requires 4 of these. So I think it would really be great, a really cool summer cast on bulky yarn that you could just knit on the couch if you're bored. Nice chunky yarn. I'll have some old books, which is like a brown tonal. I think it's important to have like a regular tonal. So that's one of mine. I'm gonna have a new colorway because I like to dye a colorway for the yarn shop that I'm gonna be trunk showing at. So this colorway is called Searching for Truffles, and this is it. It's a kind of like earthy yellow brown with a little pop of pink color, and I think it's a lot of fun. And I'm calling it Searching for Truffles because truffles are so luxurious, and I'm having it on my merino nylon cashmere base. And this reminds me a lot of Downtown Yarns. I went to go visit. I like to go and visit the yarn shops before I book a trunk show with them, and the feel that I have in Downtown Yarns is that they're very natural. They have wooden floors. It's a very beautiful yarn shop, and their aesthetic is very, more towards natural wools. And one of the employees that works there also has pink hair, and so I said I have to add a little bit of pink into the yarn that I will be, dedicating to their yarn store. And so if you guys are interested, come, and if I don't sell out of all of these, I will definitely have these up on the shop after the trunk show. But yeah, I will be hosting, those will be exclusive to the to the Downtown Yarns until after the trunk show. Another colorway that I did dye was this kind of like Pepto-Bismol pink color, which is perfect for spring. And this would be something nice to add to the so faded shawl that I will remember to post right here. And so yeah, I'm really excited to be going to Downtown Yarns. They're right near that deli, Kat's Deli, that famous Jewish deli, and I'm so excited to have lunch at Kat's and have a pastrami sandwich and maybe a knish and maybe some potato salad. We'll see. And this is one of the bags that I got when I last visited Downtown Yarns. And yeah, this is Phil the sheep. So, just me and Phil. Something else that I acquired while I was at the Chelsea Yarns 5-year anniversary, 5-year anniversary party, which was awesome. I know I mentioned it a little bit before, but it was so much fun. She got all these crazy donuts. I got to try a maple bacon donut. Delicious. What a great flavor of a donut. It was so good. She had cocktails going around, donuts, candy. It was really such a great time. I also, I had to buy one of her colorways. Let me actually go and get it. So, Christina, like I mentioned before, is also hand dyes her own yarn. It's called Luxe Hand Dyed, and I couldn't resist her celebration colorway that she specifically dyed for her 5-year anniversary. This colorway, it's 100%. I think this is Kid Silk Mohair, so it's yeah, Kid Silk mohair. So it's mohair silk, and I'm pretty sure that's it. But I'm excited to cast this on, and I'm pretty sure she sells these online. So if you guys want to go and visit her shop online, Chelsea Yarns, and you can click on Luxe Hand Dyed. She has these available. She might have them available. I would definitely go and check it out. But so yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna move on to what I've been, my personal, what I've done outside of my knitting life, and it's not really outside my knitting life because it is related to knitting. So I actually went down to Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and I went and visited Forever Yarn, which is a store in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And guys, not only was the yarn shop lovely, but the town that the yarn shop is in is absolutely amazing. I felt like I was walking around Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls. If you guys are Gilmore Girls fans, it was such a nice place to walk around, go into the different businesses that are around there. One of the store owners told me that that most of the stores in the area are owned by women, which I think is fantastic and is so great. So I will be visiting back down. I will be visiting Forever Yarn in April. So keep on the lookout for when I'll be visiting, because I would love for you guys to go and experience downtown. I'm sorry, not downtown. Forever Yarn. It is a really great yarn shop in a really great town, and I just had so much fun. All the cute little boutiques. It's a great day trip. So yeah, keep on the lookout for when I will be visiting downtown. Forever Yarns. Wow. And yeah, if you guys like what you guys are seeing, definitely give me a thumbs up. Send me a comment of things that you'd like to hear more about if you guys are interested, and please subscribe if you do want to see more of this podcast. I do have a giveaway going around, one of my yarns that I'm going to be giving away, and that's once I reach 100 subscribers. If you guys want to see what that yarn looks like, definitely check out the last couple of episodes towards the end to see what that yarn looks like. And thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my yarn podcast, and thank you for any returning viewers. And yeah, I had so much fun, so thank you so much. Bye.